So we were talking right before we went on about how this has been discussed quite a bit, and of course there's still facts unknown. But when the history of the war on terror is written, and this period in the planet's history is written, what do you think the big meaning is of this attack?
Of this specific attack?
Of this specific, or if there is one. Is this seminal in some way, a watershed, important?
Well, maybe. I hope so, actually. I hope it's a game changer. What I love is the no fear sign that's all over Paris, and the thousands coming out, both in Paris and Berlin, and hundreds in Washington in the freezing, Arctic cold here, and the use of I Am Charlie as a meme, and the condemnations by Arab capitals. I think this could become the watershed moment where finally the civilized world pushes back. I mean, let's understand, this is a contest between competing narratives, and the bad narrative has been winning because we haven't had a good narrative that has penetrated the same people. Now maybe we'll have the good narrative, and I think we all understand what that is. It's a free society, and it is living our values, which we still need to improve upon in the United States, by the way.
In the Atlantic magazine, or on the Atlantic website, Jeffrey Goldberg wrote a piece, the headline of which was "Europe is under siege," pointing out that this is somewhat predictable in the sense that there have been an increasing number of jihadist-style attacks in various places in Europe, including in France. Do you agree with that? Do you think Europe is currently under siege?
Well, I'm an optimist. Why would I have served in Congress for 17 years? And I choose to see this differently. I do think it's a clash of competing narratives, and Europe is under siege if Europe does the wrong things. If Europe now builds a police state everywhere and newspapers go silent and people stay indoors, Europe is under siege. If, on the other hand, people come out, understand that there is some risk in life. I mean, they can get run over by a bus more easily than they can get harmed by a terrorist, and come out and make sure that Muslim communities are as integrated as possible. Remember, all the aggrieved people in the world are not Muslim, and there are lots of law-abiding Muslims. But creating more open and inclusive societies is a really good way to build trust in minority communities, which is a really good way to get people in those communities who see something weird going on to talk to law enforcement. So I see, I have great respect for Jeffrey Goldberg, but I see the glass half full, not the glass half empty here.
Are you relatively surprised, or are you surprised rather at the relatively small role President Obama has played so far, and should he play a bigger role in rallying the Western world and the civilized world against this?
Well, I thought that John Kerry got an A yesterday for delivering forceful remarks in 2 languages, and he's getting praised up and down in French society for doing that. Apparently, he's the first person to deliver an address in French to France in a kind of wartime context since Franklin Roosevelt. That's kind of a long time ago, so I applaud him for doing that. I think Eric Holder going to France on the weekend, to Paris specifically, is a very good move. We don't want to put an American face on the response necessarily, because that just enlarges the target. I don't mean just that we don't want to be hit, but we want to have a response that resonates with the needs of the French people at this point. And Obama has expressed solidarity with the French. He did that immediately. All of the U.S. law enforcement resources are available and active in France. We have a long history of collaboration on intelligence. The French laws permit substantial surveillance where it is very much needed now, a point we need to make. And they will find these guys, and we will be standing with them. So I don't think Obama's doing the wrong thing.